Once again, we have no idea what time it is. It feels like we've been here for a month. It feels like we've been here for 5 seconds.
It is weird, right?
I don't know. Time doesn't exist. This has been bizarre. But thank you all so much for tuning in to the PHNX Coyotes podcast. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah here with Craig in Melbourne, Australia, day 3. In the books.
It was an off day for us.
It was.
We did a road trip. We'll talk about that a little bit later on.
Yes, we overcame some adversity.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
And if you're watching on YouTube, you might see some Vegemite placed strategically on our table here. We will be trying Vegemite live on the show a little bit later.
Time. You've never tried it?
No, I have.
I have never tried Vegemite.
Craig has never tried it.
Stay tuned.
And we're going to play a little game at the end. So it's going to be a fun show, I would say, in the 2/3 back half. As we mentioned, it was an off day for the Coyotes today, so they got a break. We heard that they were planning to go golfing. So, great opportunity for them to rest, especially since they hit the ice day 1, like within a few hours. Kind of nice to just not do that. So we got the day off as well, and we'll get into all of that.
And yet, in true Coyote fashion, there was still significant news.
Of course there was. Of course there was. And the news was that Rich Nairn is stepping down after 27 years. That's my lifetime. That's literally my lifetime. Yeah. With the Coyotes, Rich Nairn put out this statement yesterday and said, after 27 years with the Coyotes and Jets organization, the time has come to hang him up. I've decided to resign from my position to explore new opportunities and spend more time with my family, but I will be staying on with the Coyotes through the end of October to help launch the 23-24 season. Working in the NHL for almost 3 decades has been an honor and a privilege, and I am very grateful for all the incredible friendships and memories. Thanks to all the players, coaches, management, staff, and media that I have had the pleasure of working with over the years. It's been an amazing career, and I'm very fortunate. I wish the Coyotes all the best in the future. The Valley is a great market, and hockey belongs in the desert.
All right, I want to take a minute to address this. Obviously, you heard Leah say, Coyotes Executive Vice President of Communications and Broadcasting, Rich Nairn, is stepping down. He's resigned. He announced this on Tuesday. This may not mean that much to fans, but I can tell you it means a hell of a lot to me. I know it means a hell of a lot to countless people within the organization, and it means a lot to anyone who has been granted access to cover the Coyotes for any significant length of time. Rich Nairn announced, as he said, he's going to stay on to the end of October to help launch the 23-24 season. This is classic Rich Nairn. He's still going to do what's best for the team and presumably train his successor, who will be revealed shortly. I want people to understand just how much Rich Nairn has meant to this organization. He's one of the original Coyotes. Stan Wilson's going to be the only one left when he's gone. Rich is a true communications pro who came with the team from Winnipeg in '96. He's worked with every beat writer, columnist, broadcaster who has ever covered the team. He helped build the Coyotes brand, literally helped build the brand in Arizona where they were selling the game when they first arrived. He's forged, I don't know how many relationships across the league with executives, coaches, players, staff. He has also forged invaluable relationships with national and international media. Rich has worked for multiple ownership groups, all of the Coyotes ownership groups, including the league. As I noted in a tweet yesterday, he's helped guide the Coyotes through so many hard times, countless relocation rumors, oodles of bad press, and all too brief periods of hope. For the better part of the past 2 decades, Rich has been tasked with controlling the narrative surrounding a franchise constantly under fire and ridicule. He's been tasked with defending multiple ownership groups whose colossal missteps have brought this team under intense criticism, missteps that continue today. Cynics may view Nairn's work as spin, but it was his job, and the amount of damage control he has had to manage exceeds what any communications pro should ever have to manage when taking this job. What people didn't see was the impact he had internally, trying to keep staff spirits up when there was talk of relocation, or when the Coyotes embarked on yet another rebuild, or when the Tempe vote turned into an epic failure. I've had my battles with Rich over the years, whether it was over things I reported or the sources with whom I spoke. The measure of an adult relationship is the ability to move past that and maintain the relationship. Whatever hard feelings existed in the moment, They always dissipated the next day with Rich. One day after an all-out battle on the phone, I'd walk into the arena for a practice or a game or whatever, and he'd greet me with, "Hey, bud, what's up?" Like nothing happened. Hardcore media members will tell you that you're not supposed to get on friendly terms with the people whom you cover because it may impact the tenor of your coverage. It's one of the most absurd assertions I've ever heard, Leah. The best part of this job is the relationships you forge, and any reporter with a tiny bit of wisdom and conviction knows how to balance those relationships with the requirements of the job. I cannot stress how big of an asset the Coyotes are losing next month when Rich leaves at the end of October. The fact that it comes 3 months after Shane Doan makes it even tougher. Rich's statement exuded true professionalism, and he's not saying anything further on the topic. But when you lose arguably the two people who love this franchise the most in the span of 3 months, it at least raises questions about the direction and leadership of this franchise. But I don't want to end this tribute on a sour note. I simply want to thank Rich for a 23-year relationship. I want to thank him for helping a young reporter learn how to cover an NHL team. I want to thank him for complimenting my suits back in the day, noting that I was the team's best-dressed reporter. Thanks, Rich. I want to thank him for all of the access, the insights, and the historical knowledge he dropped on me. As fans, you should be thankful that Rich's love of this team, this city, this game, and this job kept him coming back when a lesser man would have departed long ago. Rich cannot be replaced in the short term. It takes years to build the sort of institutional knowledge he has, the relationships that he has, and the level of know-how that he has. I hope his predecessor humbles themselves before those facts and works hard to maintain the level of professionalism we all came to respect from Rich Nairn.
Very well said, Craig. It's a
tough one for me.
It's a huge loss for the Coyotes organization, and especially people like Craig and PD and people who've been around the team forever. And just my personal anecdote, which is a fraction of, as I mentioned, Rich Nairn's tenure at the Coyotes is my entire lifespan, which is insane. So I've known who Rich is ever since I became a Coyotes fan. I think diehards even know who he is.
Of course.
And stepping into the media scene, I was brand new to this 2 years ago, and he welcomed me with open arms. He passed no judgment. He always greeted me with a smile, and just made me comfortable. And it's intimidating to walk into an NHL situation for the first time as a member of the media. And I don't know, it was just, I knew how long he'd been around. I'd known about him for years, and just to have that sort of, greeting from him and just get that vibe, it just made me, I don't know, it just made me appreciative. And it's just so underrated. And like you said, the little things that he did to make everybody happy and just go out of his way, it's just special.
What you just said too, like it makes me think of another thing that he did. Like when Arizona State University has an incredible communications and journalism program, the Walter Cronkite School of Mass Communication and Journalism. You know which team treats Cronkite students the best, gives them the most access, the opportunities to grow? It is without question the Coyotes. Like, you can't even get in the Cardinals locker room. The Diamondbacks are not much better. This is the team that gives young students an opportunity to learn. And you know where that came from as well? That came from Rich Nairn. There's so many ways that he has impacted this community. Again, I can't stress how much they're losing here in him walking away. It's really hard for me. This one's personal, and I won't hide it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we would just like to, and I'm sure PD might want to speak on this next week when we're all back together. But just on behalf of PHNX and PHNX Coyotes, Rich, thank you for everything. The access that we've gotten, from the Coyotes has been unbelievable since the day we launched. And all of that runs through Rich at the end of the day, and we couldn't be more grateful for the way that you've treated us, and a friend that you've been to, I know, a lot of people on this beat. So
amen
we really appreciate you, Rich, and cheers to whatever's next. We'll
throw a big party someday, buddy. Someday soon.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, don't even know how to move on from there, but again, Rich, we appreciate you. And since we don't really have any other updates from hockey stuff,
it was an off day.
It was an off day. We'll get back into it tomorrow. We have a lot of stuff ahead. We'll get into that at the end of the show. And just so everybody does know, our plan for the games on the weekend is Craig and I are going to do not a show, but just kind of a recap video, especially if you're unable to watch, if it's too late Arizona time to stay up, kind of our biggest takeaways. I know people are going to be curious about the line. So that's kind of our plan for the rest of the week, but we wanted to do a show today still because we had an adventurous day. We're going to get silly here in a bit. And of course we wanted to address Rich. So actually, while I get into this first ad break, Craig is going to get up and he's going to prepare crumpets, which I insisted on for our taste test. So Craig, you get up.
See you in a few.
You get up, you go toast our crumpets, and I'll tell everybody about the BetMGM Sportsbook. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, do so because they have an amazing offer right now. If you sign up and use the bonus code PHNX and place your first BetMGM Sportsbook wager through the BetMGM Sportsbook mobile application of at least $10, you'll receive $200 instantly in additional winnings, regardless of your wager's outcome. Sincerely, what a deal. Bet you win, you lose, $200 either way, and then you can use that on whatever else. I always love to throw one on a future. Again, I've been saying it all summer long. Get your future bets in today when it comes to the NHL. As always, you can check out the show notes for full details. And now it's time to listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Nevada, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., New York, or Ontario.
All right. Well, we've officially toasted the crumpets in record time.
Well, I toasted them. I pre-toasted them. So.
It is true. He did pre-toast them. I have to say, this is not going to be good. I'm just going to say that right now. But you know
what is good?
You know what is good? Factor meal kits. I promise there's no Vegemite in Factor meal kits. In fact, Factor prioritizes taste. They prioritize health. There's different kinds of Factor meal kits you can get. You can do, protein focused one. You can, if you're vegetarian, you can get vegetarian Factor meal kits. And the best part about Factor is it's always fresh, never frozen. I'm always shocked when I eat a Factor because I'm blown away about how good it is. Some of them taste like I would eat it at a restaurant. I'm not just saying that. It's so good. And when your life's on the go, and especially, hockey season's around the corner, sometimes it's go, go, go. You're running out the door. You just need to grab something. That's what's so great about Factor. And they deliver a box right to your doorstep. It's all cooled. It's in a giant cooler box. It's really crazy. Cool.
It's really impressive.
Yeah,
when it arrives
it's
at the house.
Really cool. And then you get all your meals for the week. It's so nice. You can also get shakes as well, smoothies. Those are great. Also on the go, a little pick me up. So if you haven't tried Factor, do so. All of us have tried it. There's always a Factor in our office fridge because we all love them so much. So you can head to factormeals.com/PHNX Yotes50 and use code PHNX Yotes50 to get 50% off. That's PHNX Yotes50 at factormeals.com/PHNX Yotes50 to get 50% off. 50% off is an amazing deal.
Mm-hmm. It is a good deal.
I know. I said it a lot. PHNX Yotes50. Do it. Do it.
That's an order.
That's an order. All right, Craig.
Yeah, I was hoping the ad read was going to go longer. So we didn't have to do this. So I'm going to put this in between us, Leah.
Okay.
And I don't really want to handle your food and make things even worse than they're already going to be when we open this. But I do want to point out, while I open the Vegemite and...
that our boss, Saul Bookman, says he likes Vegemite.
Loves it. Not just likes it, he loves it. So I'm going to let you spread the Vegemite on your toasted crumpet first, and then I'll do mine. You can taste yours, then I'll taste mine, and we can give.
So the advice is you have to very little goes a long way.
I believe that.
The other,
how about none?
The other advice is that, and I know we beggars can't be choosers, but butter makes it better.
There's no
and by the way, the reason I insist on a crumpet because the first time I ever had Vegemite was on a crumpet, and we're in Australia, and today Craig and I just could not get over how British everything felt. So I'm gonna put my mic down to do this. So you can give
so I'll be talking here. And by the way, you're telling me about the butter now. Like I would have loved to have known that there should be a layer of butter on this before. A little goes a long way is right. Like, I'm not even going to tell you what that looks like as you're spreading it on. You need to get it. You know what you need to do? You need to get it toward the edge so you can take that first bite and decide, yeah, I've had enough Vegemite.
You know what?
You're going for it right now? All right, Leah, give me your verdict. Here we go.
That felt like enough.
The first taste of Vegemite on the PHNX Coyote Show comes from Leah Merrill.
I just want everybody to see how little I put on this.
What do you think it looks like? I know what I think it looks like. And now Leah's going to take a bite.
Oh, I don't like it. I forgot how much I don't like it.
Give me a description.
Bitter. Gross.
I can't wait.
I cannot believe Saul likes this.
Serious? Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to insult Australian culture. Like, if you love Vegemite, great. I do not.
Okay. Can I do it? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Ugh. I will say those crumpets are pretty good. Crumpets are very good. If you have a phobia of holes, maybe crumpets aren't for you. I've heard that people who have whatever that hole phobia is have. I feel like Craig's putting on a lot more than I would recommend, but I think for his first time. All right, show the camera how much you put on. Only on half, but that's the half he's going to take a bite of.
It's like a smiley face.
Okay.
So I just put it down there because clearly after your reaction, I'm not eating this entire
It would be
crumpet.
hilarious if you loved it.
All right, here we go. Oh. Saul, what is wrong with you?
Okay, give us some words to describe.
It is bitter.
Also, if you have a chewing phobia, I'm so sorry.
It's worse than bitter. I'm just going to say it.
Rotten, like rotten.
It tastes rancid. It tastes, honestly, this is what my mouth tastes like after I have vomited. That's what this tastes like. It tastes like vomit. Saul Bookman, what's wrong with you? I know you're like half a world away, but come on.
Oh
come on. This is terrible. Oh.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm so sorry. Again, if we're insulting anyone by our Vegemite takes, but we saw, we tried. Like,
do you really care?
We paid $5.
Right. We like just took a hint of it. Oh my God, is that bad?
Oh,
that is one of the worst things I've ever had in my mouth. It really does taste. It really does taste like vomit.
Well, it's a good thing, Craig, that we had an amazing meal today.
Oh my God! Ever?
Wow, that can't take away from the great meal we had. And I think it's about time that we tell everybody about our day, starting with the moment we realized our original plans were completely derailed.
The one day we couldn't do it was the day we had an off day today. This is the
only
off
one.
day.
It's the only one in the 7 days we're here.
And you can imagine the NHL litters this thing with events off the ice. Of course they should. They're trying to promote the game. They're trying to do a lot to sell it here. To Australian culture, but also like just to give that pomp and circumstance to make it a big deal. Yeah. So literally the schedule's filled every other day. There's no way we could get away to do what we wanted to do, which was
go to the Phillip Island Wildlife Preserve where we could see kangaroos and koalas.
Stone koalas, as Bill Armstrong would say.
And feed kangaroos. And we we kept talking about this all week. We were so excited. This morning, Craig's looking at rental cars. I'm on the website looking at the hours. Closed Wednesdays and Thursdays. Of all the days.
Yeah, I don't get that either. Like closed Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah. Closed Wednesdays and Thursdays. So Craig and I, devastated, obviously. Of course, we wanted to taunt Sean DePaz with koala content. Like, this was our whole plan for the week.
And we figured out a way to do that anyway on this road trip. But
yeah. Completely derailed. So Craig and I said, you know what, let's still rent a car. I texted my friend who lives in Melbourne, who I met studying abroad.
I did learn that today.
Yes. And he gave us some great suggestions. And if you're not familiar with the geography of the Melbourne area, the city is on the water, but it's a massive bay, a massive bay.
Way up here on the north end.
Yeah. crazy big bay, and we literally just got in the car and drove along the bay. We were going to drive all the way to the end. We kind of went all that way, Anyway, and it was a little bit of a rainy day too, cold.
It's very cold, especially when we got out to the end of the peninsula.
Cold, but we stopped in a town called Mornington, which was lovely. We went for a stroll, had
coffee.
Craig had a coffee, so he is now one ahead on me on coffees for the week. I think you've had 6 coffees. I've had 5 in the 3 days we've been here.
I think that's right.
Yep.
How was it only 3 days, by the way? Okay.
Feels
Anyway,
like a
the
month.
restaurant.
Oh my God.
This was your buddy's wreck, and this place was
called The Rocks, and it rocked.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I don't want to taunt people with what we ate. I mean, we were taunting.
We were taunting Petey.
We were definitely taunting Petey, who was in Bristol, Connecticut for the ESPN meetings. And I asked him where he was. I can't even remember the name of the town he was in Connecticut. I know the Connecticut Valley very well because I went to school there. And I asked him what it was like. And he was like, it's dreary and rainy. And of course it is, because that's the Connecticut Valley. But he was at some pizza place. I was like, oh, well, is it like New Haven style pizza? Are you getting that? And he goes, no, it's a dump. So, of course, Leah took food photos and we were taunting him while we were eating lunch because that's how we roll.
And I will just say, one of the things we had was fish and chips, which it felt like a must have.
With a fish called Flake.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. And then since we felt robbed of the kangaroo experience, I said, let's try and find them in the wild. And I remembered a place when I was here 4 years ago that I'd seen wallabies. I said, at least if we can see wallabies, I feel like we'll have accomplished something. So we drive on the road that I for sure saw wallabies last time. There was nothing.
No
Craig
wallabies.
And I are, mostly Craig is like,
they don't exist.
Devastated.
Wallabies don't exist. I don't believe it.
They're not real. So then, because of the detour we took, I said, let's go to this lighthouse instead. Yeah. This seems cool. So we kind of detoured to go to this lighthouse, Cape Schenk or something.
Shank, I think.
Shank. Either way. And so all of a sudden we start seeing these kangaroo crossing signs. Like in the US, you see deer crossing. Well, here they have kangaroo crossing.
So bizarre.
So Craig's driving. By the way, did a great job driving on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah, with all kinds of roundabouts too, by the way.
Crazy roundabouts. We missed a few, but it was mostly my fault because I was the navigator. But he did great driving on that side of the road. Anyway, so Craig's driving. I am like eyes on the hills.
And this literally, let's just paint a picture for this. These are not like nearby hills. These are like rolling green hills. Like you can see for a long way. This is a panoramic view. And we're cruising down the highway. And Leah's like, look, there's one. And it's way up on the hillside. But I look and she's like, she directs me. And sure enough,
it was hopping. And
it was in motion.
It was hopping. So we saw a kangaroo.
That was pretty cool.
And then we were in way too fast motion to take a photo. And then we saw 3 more just sitting. Chilling. They were just sitting, chilling. But they were so far away. Like I tried with the camera, I tried with my phone, and there was a fence. Like it was a hill. We couldn't get up there, but we did see 4 kangaroos in the wild.
We did. Yes.
So,
and at least that many bulls. There were a lot of bulls.
There were a lot of bulls and a lot of cows everywhere. And a lot of horses and a lot of sheep.
Yep.
Beautiful area though. I recommend if you ever go to Melbourne to go out on the peninsula. And we finally made it to the lighthouse. Our destination of 2 hours. We're like, we made it. Frigid, windy, rainy. I took a selfie. We had to because the wind was blowing. Our hoods were up. And because the wind was blowing with the rain, the rain it felt like hail hitting us.
It felt like darts is what it felt like.
It was like crazy. So yeah, that was an interesting experience. At least we snagged the selfie, but it was beautiful. Out on the coast. Maybe wish for some better weather. It definitely was a reminder that it is winter here in Australia.
Yeah, it is crazy to think about that. Like, and I was saying this to you when we were walking away from the lighthouse. It's bizarre to think that the dead of July is the dead of winter here. But
it's so bizarre.
You and I both agree on this. Obviously, Petey doesn't because he didn't come on this trip, and now he's having FOMO about it. Because he's in the Connecticut Valley, which I could have told him was not the place to be right now. We both love traveling and we both love getting out like on adventures like today. We had a loose idea of where we were going.
We just wanted to get to the end of the peninsula and we did that just
But
in
we rolled
a
with
roundabout
changes.
way.
It was fun. It was just fun exploring. And we've already told you we're in love with Melbourne, but now like it was nice to get outside. And there's just beautiful country just to the south of this city. That was a really worthwhile day.
Absolutely. And my Shady Rays made an appearance today, Craig.
Yes, they did.
They did. There was a brief moment of sun that I did put them on, but I have been carrying them with me everywhere we've gone in Melbourne so far. So yes, the Shady Rays did make it down under. I know a lot of people were wondering, not really, but Shady Rays, get some for yourself so you can travel with them. You can have a pair and the best part is like I don't have anxiety that I did when I had like really expensive sunglasses. Oh my god, what if I leave them? What if I break them? Because Shady Rays, they're so affordable. It's so easy to order them, and they just have a great return policy as well. That's what I love about Shady Rays. They like the pair that I have, I swear to god, dupes of Ray-Bans and a fraction of the price. So I don't have to worry about losing them, which I didn't. I still have them. But that's what I love about Shady Rays. Great styles, great colors, great prices.
Super durable too.
Super durable. Like
yeah.
I throw them they were in my backpack, like getting knocked around.
They don't break.
That's fake news. And exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com and use code PHNX for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. I'll say it again. I didn't do a good job bringing enough stuff to decorate our set here.
Yeah.
We'll get to our Airbnb decor in a minute. But I should have gone on FOCO before this trip. I should have ordered a few bobbleheads, and then maybe we could have left it behind for the Airbnb host, a little, taste of the Coyotes. But if you're looking to, spruce up your man cave, whatever it is, FOCO has apparel, accessories, toys, collectibles, novelty items, and more. We have learned a ton about the sports culture here in Melbourne, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing sports culture.
We're going to learn a lot more this weekend, too.
Yeah, for sure. So if you're in the spirit of sports, check out FOCO. They have your back for Arizona sports. You can get best gear around by visiting FOCO.com. That's FOCO.com and using code PHNX. And for all non-presale items, use promo code PHNX for 10% off. All right.
You ready for this?
I'm ready. So why don't you cue up what is happening here?
Well, Leah mentioned decor.
And if you're listening on audio, I recommend going on YouTube for some visuals.
Yeah, you need to see this because we're not sure about some of these things laying around our Airbnb. We really like our Airbnb. I want to state that first of all. Yeah. It's amazing. We're in a high rise. We have a great view of the city. Leah has the ensuite. I have to, walk a mile to my bathroom. But other than that, we have this great setup here.
Craig can control my bathroom lights from the kitchen.
I do like that. Actually, I can turn your lights off whenever I feel like it. But there are some things where we walked in and we're like, what does that do? So we're going to show those things to you now. The first one of these items is actually an either or. So I'm going to reach off screen for a moment here.
This was found in the refrigerator.
So
less decor, more item found.
I don't know if you can see this, but it reads full cream pure milk. So
and it's shaped like a juice box.
So is it cream?
Is there a place to put a straw?
Well, I got to get this Vegemite out of here.
No preservatives. Pure, delicious, full cream milk in a convenient stay fresh pack that locks in the goodness of farm fresh milk.
This might just be a thing that's lost in translation, right? Like, what is full cream milk? It's either cream or it's milk. It's not both. I guess you could combine them, but you know what we call that in the States? Half and half.
Ingredients: pure, natural, full cream milk.
Full cream milk.
Is it whole milk?
I don't know.
If anyone has any answers for us, let us know.
Okay.
But there's item 1.
So there's item 1. Let's slide this back, Leah, because item 2 is coming up, and I want everybody to like, Leah, what is this? I have an answer. I've figured it out. But
I do think it's supposed to be a vase.
Okay.
I think you're supposed to put
I don't like your answer.
Okay, what's your answer?
I think it's a Teletubby, actually. I think it's the statue of a Teletubby. I'm not sure. We need to come up with a name for this Teletubby.
It's an artistic interpretation.
Yes. So diehards, name this Teletubby.
Howley, like howler.
Aren't they all like? Oh no, they are sometimes 2 syllables. Lala.
Yeah.
Bo. Okay. So that's item number 2, and I need to move item number 2 because it takes up too much room.
It's blocking the full cream milk.
Item number 3. I mean,
it's clearly some sort of bowl, but the inside is flat. It's not like a bowl
this
shape.
outside is like, I don't know what's going on with the outside. You can't
The
see this or
Airbnb
touch
host
it.
is going to somehow find this show and be like, what the F is wrong with these people?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And she's also going to
never
see
allow us back.
how we've moved. We've moved every piece of furniture in this place.
We have literally wrecked this living room. So what are you calling this?
I mean, well, now I don't want to be basic and say bowl. Now I'm trying to think outside the box.
Should I go first while you think? I'm calling this a dog bowl for a very large dog.
Oh yeah,
so
I
they
like
don't,
that.
You know, I have the dog bowls where they don't have to bend over too much to elevate. That's what I'm saying. This is like a St. Bernard
and
bowl.
it's like a bougie
St. Bernard, like Bernie, the awful mascot for the Colorado Avalanche. See, I came back to that. Go ahead.
It's a artistic interpretation of a UFO.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think it is? Go ahead and answer in our Discord
and in the chat now.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I am going back and reading the chats, by the way. The live chats.
Item 4.
This one's
got me stumped.
mind-boggling.
We've been looking at this for days.
It's shaped.
Which it almost sounds like a rattlesnake.
Yeah, it does. What is that? What is that? It's clearly some sort of dried plant, but it's no plant I've ever seen.
No.
What is inside? Why is it shaking?
I don't know.
Is it a rain stick? Is it raining today because we keep picking this up and shaking?
It. We've created. I like that answer. Let's both go with that. Because I really had no answer for this one. All right. Are we ready for item 5 here?
This one, I have nothing.
Okay.
I have nothing. It's so bizarre.
Can I get this up here without like destroying the set?
We can both hold it.
I know what you're saying. You're thinking, oh, it's like a shoot. No, they're uneven. It's
I mean, maybe you put a blanket on it. Is like the only thing that I can think.
A blanket that drags on the floor and gets dirty. What are you going with?
A walker for a very
small person. See, that's what I was thinking too. This is a walker for a small person.
You know what?
One that doesn't roll.
You know what? The when you're we need to take this off the table. I need to when you're learning how to skate and they give you the thing.
Oh, see, that's it.
But for a child,
yeah, that would slide well. Like that's how they teach skating in a lot of countries.
Yep, there you have it.
So we've answered that, and we came back to hockey with it, or at least got back on the ice, which is where we're going tomorrow.
These are some of the few things in our Airbnb that we are slightly confused by as well. But yeah, thanks for putting up with our non-fully hockey show. Listen,
yeah, seriously.
Listen,
it's been a day.
It's been a day. It really has. From the second we woke up to right now. Yeah, it's been a day, but hockey's back tomorrow. Don't worry. And as Craig mentioned earlier, there's so many events going on, and it's a really cool one.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, there's going to be a coaching clinic with Dallas Eakins and Paul McLean, and they're going to be talking to I think more than 80 youth ice hockey coaches from around Australia, which is unbelievable. So we're actually going to go to that, and we're going to have the chance to speak.
We're going to talk to Dallas Eakins.
Yeah,
he has agreed already to just do a spot with us. So
yeah, so we'll show that on tomorrow's show. I had to really think.
Yeah,
it's tomorrow's show for you. Tomorrow's show, and it'll be on our YouTube channel as well. So that's going to be a really cool thing. And then the Coyotes are back on the ice for practice. Hopefully we'll get an update on Travis Dermott. Still no update there just because, it was an off day. And then, I know there's a few things people are keeping their eye on, possible line combinations.
I just tasted the Vegemite again, by the way.
how Logan Cooley and Dylan Guenther are faring, and more. So those are all things that Craig and I are going to keep our eye on tomorrow, and hopefully then bring you a more hockey-centric show. And of course, again, recaps of the games on the weekends as well. Not full live shows, but recaps that you can find on our Twitter and our YouTube channel.
Yeah. So. And we're also having fun with a segment that we're doing at camp.
We are. It's called Camp Confidential. And if you missed our interview with Coyotes GM Bill Armstrong yesterday, go back and watch it. He was great. He was rolling with the punches, and we got an amazing take on koalas, which I need Sean to pause his response immediately.
I have such an appreciation for people who can think on their feet like that. Bill Armstrong had no idea what we were going to ask him. And listen, he's the general manager of the hockey team. He's obviously here to work, and we come at him out of left field with these questions, and his answers weren't just, "Oh, I'm not sure about that," or "Let me think about that." Yeah, no.
It was very thoughtful.
They were hilarious.
Amazing.
So, and we're going to do more and more of that. Okay, maybe you want to cue this up.
Well, we kind of did it with Bill, and it's called Camp Confidential, and it was the segment of the interview where we asked him a series of kind of 5 offbeat questions the funny part is the koala one was actually not part of this. But we have started asking guys. The Logan Cooley one is up now on our PHNX_Coyotes Twitter and PHNX Sports YouTube channel. Just 5 offbeat questions. And I think it's funny, you know, it's training camp, media. We pull aside, it's a one-on-one, and it's just like you ask them the first question and they're like, oh shit, like this is funny.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with hockey.
And they've been amazing. The answers have been phenomenal. So the Logan Cooley one's up now. The Barrett Hayton one is coming a little bit later today. And we have plans to ask a lot more of the guys on the team to kind of, I don't know. It's
not
fun.
going to be the same questions either. We're going to roll with a handful of questions for a handful of players, and then we'll move on to a different set of questions.
Yeah. And there's also a lot we need to know about today and yesterday, because we haven't seen the team since yesterday morning pretty much. They've been up to a lot. They did a team bonding exercise yesterday, which Craig detailed in a Twitter thread. And we need to know what they were up to today. So we're hoping to find all of that out over the next couple of days as well.
Yep.
It involved costumes, themes, competitions. I'm very excited to
And
hear.
then golfing, right? They went golfing. So
yeah,
we'll get to all of that.
We certainly will. What are you most looking forward to this week for the rest of the week?
Not eating Vegemite anymore.
Yeah.
That's tops on my list right now anyway, because I can't stop tasting it.
Yeah.
I can't stop tasting it.
You're going to brush your teeth right after this, aren't you?
So brushing my teeth right after this.
I'm excited for the first game. I think I'm really curious about what the atmosphere is going to be like in Rod Laver, how the Australian bands are going to respond to hockey, and in a hockey sense, to see what lines roll out for the Coyotes on that night. That
same day, too, the AFL preliminary finals,
we
which
had to
really
get a whole
are just
lesson
like
on
a
this.
semifinal, by the way.
But it's called something different here.
They call it the preliminary finals, even though there's only 4 teams left. So it is the semifinal, as you would know it in America, but they call it preliminary final. Anyway, we've been told that like 100,000 fans are turning out for this. It's going to be insanity. It's right in the same area. So there's the Coyotes Kings game. There's all these people gathering. Then that game starts right afterward, or starts that evening. So it's going to be insane in that sporting center of Melbourne, as we've been told, like the most condensed group of sporting arenas anywhere in the world. And when you go there, you're like, yeah, they're not lying about that.
Yeah, for sure. This city loves its sports, and it's not just the local sports here. I've actually seen a ton of like NFL hats. I would say the hat I have seen the most, and this might be a shock, a Raiders hat. I have seen so many Raiders things. It's crazy. So they must love NFL here too. It's, I don't know how they watch it and keep up with it, but that's okay. One thing I do love about the US, I love football Sundays. I love watching the NFL. And I love that we have stuff at PHNX that makes it more fun to do that, such as Splash Sports, because PHNX has a weekly pickaxe and NFL Survivor contest for everyone to participate to win real money. All you do is head to splashsports.com/PHNX. The link is in our description to sign up, and deposit cash to get started. It's just $5 to enter. You can also run your own contests. You can, there's going to be larger prizes. There's season-long stuff. So head to splashsports.com/PHNX to join in. We'll have different contests coming out. We're stoked to compete with and against you all. Be sure to click the link in our description. Super, super fun. Again, Craig and I are really blown away by the number of 7-Elevens in this city.
Yeah, need more Circle Ks.
We need Circle Ks. Circle Ks would thrive here. I truly, truly believe Circle Ks would thrive here. I'm missing it. Craig and I had to find a gas station today. It's not as easy as in Arizona where there's a Circle K everywhere. Like, we really struggled. It added like 20 minutes to our night.
Yeah, and it took like 20 minutes to get out of the parking lot when we were there. So anyway.
It's no Circle K. It was no Circle K. So just, it makes you appreciate what you have. And the gas prices here, they could use 25 cents off per gallon,
big time,
or per liter here, I guess, with the Inner Circle. Again, I'm just saying, Circle K, if you're listening, Australia could be a good venture. Join the Inner Circle for Circle K. It's their new free membership program, and save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. You can join it today for free by downloading the Circle K app. Terms and conditions apply. At participating locations, visit circlek.com for details. Craig, what other articles do you have planned?
Well, I do have something planned for Logan Cooley. I have something on Dylan Gunther. So I know those are two players of keen interest coming out of this camp. And obviously, I'm going to write more stories when we actually get back to Arizona and there's more camp. But I wanted to focus on those two guys because I think there's a lot of intrigue around them I have a little bit more coming on what ice hockey looks like here in Australia. And I'm going to come back. You guys know this by now. You've followed me for a long time. I like to do camp notes rolled into the segment that I call Neutral Zone. So I've been collecting a bunch of those notes that maybe don't rise to the level of story, but there's lots of fun tidbits to discuss, and some of it newsy. So you can look forward to all of that at gophnx.com.
Absolutely. And if you haven't signed up for the newsletter yet, you can do so on the website, gophnx.com. If you're not a diehard, become a diehard, because there's so many perks: access to our Discord, access to diehard only content on the website, 20% off merch, 20% off on events as well. And we have a lot of fun stuff planned as the season's just around the corner. So
Petey's Town Halls, just saying.
Yeah, those are worth the price of admission alone. I'm not kidding. Hopefully we'll have another one here soon before the month is up. But yeah, that's it from us today.
Yeah.
Craig and I need, by the way, so yesterday, if you've been watching every show this week, you can see yesterday was daylight. We recorded our show earlier. The first night was night. It's night again.
Yep.
And that first night we said, okay, we're going to go get dinner. Craig and I walked around for like 30 minutes. So Craig, we cannot do that tonight.
No, that was embarrassing. Actually. that was literally just us not being able to read the maps that we were looking at. Now, mind you, there's some really confusing stuff about Melbourne. There are alleys everywhere, and there's a lot of stuff down the alleys, and they don't always show up on the map.
Okay, we just one more thing before we wrap up. We went down an alley yesterday that is like only one person can fit in it. It is like a single, but my like Apple Maps like told us to go down there. There was a street sign on this alley, like notating that it was a place, and there were other people going through it like on a mission.
Yeah, they knew it. They knew exactly where they were
like
going.
If we blinked, we would have missed this alley. Crazy. The alleys here, wild. And also I've heard that the best coffee is in the alleys, which we discovered on day one.
We did.
So anyway, that's it from us today. We appreciate everybody watching. Hit the like button on this video. Thank you so much for your comments. I'm going back and looking at the likes. I'm going back and reading the comments. So we really appreciate you. Appreciate the discussion in the Discord and on Twitter, and continue to follow along our trip in Melbourne. If there's something specific you want to see, let us know on Twitter and in the Discord. And you can follow us at Craig S. Morgan, at Leah Merrill. Give Petey a shout. He has FOMO. At S. Peters Hockey, you can follow the show at PHNX_Coyotes. And of course, subscribe to the PHNX Sports YouTube channel so you never miss when we go live, and you never miss all the extra content we have on there from this trip as well. But everybody, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. We're done with ours. We can tell you Wednesday's a good one. But for now, we will see you all tomorrow.